All right, kids. Today we are going to talk water heaters, and it's going to be a really quick conversation because I don't know that much about them. But I will talk about the things I do know, and they may be applicable to your water heater, they may not be. And the reason I say that, this water heater is an A.O. Smith Vertex. It's a hybrid. It's designed to be more like a commercial in that it has a huge flow through rate. So it's got very high capacity. It's also ultra efficient, which is why it's got vented exhaust on the unit, which is essentially this pipe coming out. It also has to get rid of its wastewater, and that goes through that little canister, and that has something to de-acidify the exhaust water that comes from the unit, so it doesn't rot out your floor pipes where you drain it into. Anyway, so I guess a couple of things to note relative to that is one, this unit has a direct vent exhaust, and two, you need to make sure that you're cleaning that out. There is a trap on the bottom side right there, and that just unscrews, and you clean that out every 6 months ish, probably when you flush your water heater, which is what you can tell I just did it. But we're going to talk about it and different aspects also. So anyway, so first things first, water heaters. Just about all water heaters have a sacrificial anode, which essentially makes the water less corrosive to the tank. It helps with the longevity of the tank. And that sacrificial anode, in the case of my unit, is right here. So that's sacrificial anode. Usually it's like an inch or so nut on the top of it, hex head on the top of it. So you want to get a socket. It's going to be a large socket that fits on it. Anyway, the reason we're talking about that sacrificial anode should be checked annually, and if you have really hard water, maybe even more frequently. But because that sacrificial anode is saving your water heater from corroding from the inside, so you want to replace it. So at least annually you should be looking at it and replacing it. Your other option, which is what I did with this one, well, the first time I bought this one, is I got an electronic sacrificial anode. So this one uses a charge. So instead of there being a material like magnesium on this bottom part, it's just an electrical conduit, and it in effect does the same thing. And you can see the top, it needs power, so that's why that plug is up there. And this water heater is new, so I haven't replaced the sacrificial anode that's in there with this electric anode, but I will. I just hadn't gotten around to it, and I've got lots of other things that are taking my time. But the electric anode then doesn't degrade, and theoretically should last life. Now, I don't know what tells you when it goes bad, if it can go bad. So that's a little bit out of my knowledge base, but I do know that it is sold as a viable long-term replacement. So other things you have to do with your water heater, besides sacrificial anode, checking it on the top, emptying if you have a highly efficient unit, direct vent, you have to clean out the trap in the bottom. Basically gunk gets in down there, and you just basically rinse it out. Last thing you have to do on a regular basis, and why the hose is attached to the spigot and why there's water below it, is because I didn't tighten it enough, is you have to flush your water heater. And the reason you do that is because there are minerals in the water, and for the most part, you've got a sacrificial anode that's at the top that's degrading over time. So that stuff essentially crumbles off and goes into your water. And so you want to flush all the minerals and that whatever the sacrificial anode that has dissolved away out of it periodically. So that's why you flush your water heater. And I think the rule of thumb is that you want to flush X number of percent of it. I don't remember what it was, but I remembered, I think this is an 80 gallon unit, that I need to flush it for approximately a minute to hit the right water exchange. And it fills up with the input here. So it's not like your water heater is going empty. It dumps in as quick as it's leaving. But you do want to flush it periodically. And come to think of it, I think I only do it for 30 seconds. But you can look online and see what it says in terms of duration per gallons of hot water heater. But I think if you're doing anything, you're doing more than most. Even if you do it for 10 seconds, you're going to get a lot of the sediment out at the bottom of the water heater, which is why that drain is at the bottom. Besides the fact that in order to get most of the water out, you'd have to drain it. You also want to make sure you drain out the sediment. So the drain serves those two purposes with the same structure. I think that's about all I have to say about water heaters. One other thing I will note for you, and we discovered this because our original water heater, our original Vertex, died before it should have, of course, out of warranty. But because it's a direct vent from the outside, the air being drawn in is cold in the winter because we're obviously in the northern Illinois area. So cold air is coming in. Well, that cold air coming in on these PVC piping is it's cold. It's bringing in moisture, and as it's coming in, it's hitting those warm sides, and that creates condensation. So that water eventually, because the air being sucked in, will work its way down and into your unit. So that's a blower on this unit. The heating element in this unit is in the middle. It's weird. Like I said, it's a commercial, quasi-commercial. So what the plumber didn't do in the installation of the first water heater that we had, first Vertex, was he did not put a drain onto the intake line. So that drain goes down and to the same floor drain as the output from the exhaust. So they just route a drain from the bottom of the unit, and they put a loop in it so it captures water. That loop, it captures water, so it can't suck air from internal. You can see there's the water level. So it keeps pumping water in there, and eventually that water flushes out and into the drain. So just elements to note. One, you need an offshoot for the water, and two, you want a loop in it to prevent it from sucking air, and you want to fill it with a little bit of water when you install it. But again, these are for direct vent units that come from the outside. So it draws air from the outside and it pushes the exhaust to the outside. That's about what I know about hot water heaters. Anyway, other things to note, I guess, that we'll talk about. Your gas line. So I have a gas hot water heater, and that's the supply line. This is the gas line to supply the water heater, and the vent, the valve is open. It's in parallel with the line which means it's open. And by in parallel, it means it's in line with the water, with the gas line itself. To turn it off, you turn it clockwise, righty-tighty, and so it would be perpendicular, essentially stopping gas from coming in. The other element is, of course, the water in and water out. So you've got if you have a leaking water heater, you turn off the valve that's feeding into the intake. And the way you know it's intake versus outtake, I think typically intake is on the right side if you're facing the front of it. But the other way to note is the outflow is always warm, well, at least in any case where your water is being used. So you can tell which one's the intake by the fact that it's cold, it's never warm. The outflow is warm occasionally whenever you use the water, obviously, because it's coming out. Anyway, so aside from that, that's about the gist of what I have to talk about. Oh, other thing you'll note, so these two lines coming off the intake, those actually feed the water, the humidifiers for the two heaters that we have down here, 1 and 2. And so those come off of the intake to the water heater, and you'll see that set up a lot. Again, you have a valve to shut those off, and then a valve to each one if you have to do something to one or the other. Anyway, so that's about it. Hope everyone's having a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.